me that lie before you give me that truth. And that's very old school. And this is what I mean by that. Like, that lets me know if we only less than 90 days in that, okay, my dick game is trash, right? Like, you're not happy. You like me as a person. You like me as a provider. You like me as being, you know what I mean, father to your kids, but like you need outside, like you need something more than what I'm giving. So automatically my ego like, oh, we can't stay. Oh, we got to get out of here. Oh, I promise you, like my ego be in my ego be sitting on my shoulder, like, man,
yeah.
Right. Yeah, the ego will be sitting on my shoulder, like, man, if you don't leave this bitch, you better leave this bitch. Like, why are you still here? Like, I'm gone. Like, I'm not. Like, the ego would leave before me, right? The ego would leave, and then we'd have sex. Like, oh, your dick don't get up. My ego left. Like, when you asked me that, you took away the power of erection. Because in my mind, I can't perform anyway.
Welcome to the Love Is Podcast with your host, that thorny chick, Karen KK Rose, and her co-host, the lovable a-hole. That's right, I said lovable, Mr. DK Walker. Where they will be discussing love, relationships, family, life, sex, self-help, and what it takes to be a successful entrepreneur. Why? Because love is everything, and everything should be loved. Now to today's podcast.
All right, here we go. Hello, everyone. It's your girls, that Thorny Chic, Karen KK Rose, alongside my iPhone hating co-host, Lovable Asshole, DK Walker. DK.
What it do? It's not that I hate the iPhone. I just hate your phone because of the kinds of pictures that it takes, for the quality, pardon me, picture that it takes. Like, man, if it suck ass, it suck ass. Like, you mad at me because I told the truth about your, maybe if you just dusted the lens off. Maybe it's not the phone. Maybe because you haven't cleaned your shit since you got it.
I mean, I've cleaned it since I got it, but I rarely take it out the case to clean it. I'll just wipe the top and the back off because it's always in the case.
Not only it got doggone dust, it got food particles, crumbs.
Probably, listen, since I got my hair cut Saturday, it's probably got a bunch of hair in there.
Bunch of hair, like what are you doing?
Possible. It's very possible.
Look, your job pays you decent, right? We make a few coins on this between our businesses. We make a few, not many. We make a few. You can afford, pardon me, to upgrade, right? So you and just think about it. You upgraded in your love life. You went from dating weirdos to the love of your life, right? So if you can upgrade in your love life, right, you can definitely upgrade your phone, B.
I don't want to let go of my 7.
Your penny pinching ass. Come on now.
It's not. I mean, there's nothing wrong with my phone, bro.
Let it go. Two things you need to do within a month. Let your phone go and get a new laptop.
Now, the laptop I give you. Now, the phone, no, I'm not.
It's okay, cool. When? Okay, we're gonna put this on the podcast. I'm so wrong for this, right? Because I'm gonna obligate you on air. When are you getting a new laptop? You got a man.
When I get my stimulus check. How about that?
Oh, gee. I threw up in my mouth. I threw up in my mouth. I threw up the black silk in my mouth.
I've been waiting to use that on you, and now I was like, when am I going to be able to use the stimulus check line out here? There you have it.
I threw up the black silk in my mouth, and some female is listening like, oh, I had black silk too last night. No, hon, I'm talking about. Oh, no, hun, I'm talking about coffee, right? I'm not, you had dick last night. I had these good Folgers coffee, right? So you should be throwing up black silk. Like, he'll love you more if you swallow.
Listen, and Prince said black sweat.
You so silly, right? He'll love you more if you swallow. Don't you throw that black silk up. I'm talking coffee. What? Shout out to I forget her name. I want to say, what was her name? The original queen of What the Fuck News with the sperm smoothie.
Oh, what's her name? Tracy Kiss.
Yes, she goes into the Hall of Fame of What the Fuck. Like, she will always be a personal favorite of mine. People talking about repurposing content. No, repurpose protein. Why don't you? Anyway, what's going on with you, man?
Face. Same old, same old. I feel like me again. The bald-headed hoe got her fro cleaned up, and you would be actually very proud of me, believe it or not, that I think for the next month I have not picked up any overtime at the job.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
I
That's
know.
That's like a crackhead saying I haven't smoked a pipe in a day.
I know. And then I had this like strange suspicion, like there really weren't any times or days that worked for me. So I was like, and Derek's been getting on me about it. He's like, all money, we always have this all money and good money conversation. He's like, we don't need the money. I'm like, we don't. Clearly there must be, some pot of gold that I'm not seeing. But now that I kind of am taking some days off, I actually enjoy my day off. Like I do, I've been pretty good at finding like the balance out of boredom back to, moguling, even if it is from bed. Working on the podcast during the day and then, spending the night with, spending majority of the night with him and still moguling while he sleeps. But, not being there has kind of been kind of nice, believe it or not. I think I'm at the place where like the newness of the job has worn off and the chasing of the bag has been fun and great. And I've pretty much, gotten Christmas and all that kind of over. But I'm just like, I don't want to be here anymore. I feel very Karate Kid. I say this all the time, and anybody who works with me, and they because they listen to the podcast, I say this every single solitary day I'm on shift. I go Karate Kid, Trey Smith. I hate it here. I just want to go home. I say it every shift, sometimes hour on the hour. But I thought it was just. It is. I say it all the time, just like that. I swear I'm going to put on a t-shirt and wear it to work one day. But I say it all the time. And now I have my coworker saying, I hate it here. I just want to go home. Because sometimes, it's just not fun. I mean, I have the privilege of working with some really great people who have, turned into be some really great girlfriends. They not only support the podcast, but, my love life and, we go get pedicures and things like that together. So they've been really, really cool. So I really am starting to enjoy life outside the ER, which, it should have been because, I think we get so comfortable in prostituting ourselves to the entity that pays our bills that we forget, we have a life outside of that. So
right. You have to find that balance. And I think what happens is like with me, as long as my major bills, it's gonna sound as long as the major bills is covered, like the small ones and the people like, what about your credit? Yeah, well, credit can be fixed. Like people don't understand like credit goes up, credit goes like it can be fixed. So, but as long as I provide what I need to provide for the family, the rest of my time will be behind the grind for the business. And the plan is for the business to become large enough to provide for the family. And then my days are numbered for me running behind a trash truck. Like my body is like, I'm not what I used to be, right? I used to be a physical, like how can you say that? Only if you see me. I used to be a physical specimen. Now I'm just a specimen. The physical part has long left your boy, right?
Listen, but, are you a specimen for MJ's experiments?
What do you mean?
Science experiments.
She don't, well, besides baking and cooking, she don't care. I got promise you, she love her daddy, no matter what type of shape I'm in. And then one thing I like about her, because she's 11. Like, I don't know who this little girl is at times, right? She's gotten really hard on this health kick. So I don't know where she's getting this information from. She getting running down stats. She reading the back of everything. Oh, I'm not eating this no more. I'm like, you 11. Like when I was 11 years old, no matter what you put on my plate, I was eating. I didn't care what that shit was. Smell good. Let's eat.
You didn't have a choice. It was either you eat this or you starve.
True, but okay, facts, right? Facts. But it's just she's aware of why she doesn't want to, right? And then my thing is, where I'm stuck at, I wouldn't assume that she would become like laser focused about her appearance and health at 11. Like she's not even like teen yet. Like 11, she's on it, and it just goes to show you that the younger generation, your kids, they just be on something so much different than if I turn back the hands of time, look at my life at that age, like I give a rat's ass about, what I look like, what I smelt like. Let's go have fun. Let's play. Let's drive my parents crazy. That was the only thing that was on my agenda. My daughter has an agenda that is way ahead of being 11. It's scary sometimes. My wife always have that conversation like, who is she? Right. I tease my wife like, you gonna stop letting her punk you. You gonna stop. She ain't gonna be. You could tell her no. I be telling her no. She just can't hear me though. Oh,
right. Because I was gonna say, how she came into your office the other day. I was like, why didn't somebody witness this other than me?
The disrespect is real. The disrespect is real.
Everything had me cry. I mean, I laughed for about a good 15 minutes off that moment. I mean, I could not stop because she did. But the thing is, she just did it, and she just stood there staring at you like, I double dog dare you to say something back, because it was like she was prepared for the argument.
It's terrible,
But here's
man.
the thing, though. I was gonna say though, so, one, you are a boy. Boys don't care what they smell like. Y'all just don't care. Like, and I think as women, we have to remember, like, y'all don't really like grow
Men don't
up.
either.
Y'all just,
Men don't
right,
either.
y'all just are grown versions of men. Like, I be like arguing with Derek, like about not really arguing, but I'm like, why did you do this with the laundry? He's like, my clothes don't bleed. Like, what difference does it make if I put my white socks in with the dark clothes? I was like, because that's not how your mama taught you how to sort clothes. He's like, my mama ain't done my laundry forever. I said, well, your woman ain't gonna do it forever either. I was just being nice to you because I already had a load going for you to put it in there. I just didn't expect you to put your white socks in there. I said, how do you know my clothes don't bleed? He goes, who's gonna see my socks? I'm
exactly.
like,
we don't like. Okay, so okay. He gets a real live man point for that. Like real men, whatever that means. We don't waste the time. Like that shit is not even nobody's radar. Like if I put in a pair of white drawers. I don't know who owns white drawers at my age, but if I was putting a pair of white drawers, I stopped wearing them as a kid, but I digress, right? They just look wrong. But if I put, hypothetically speaking, if white drawers and then something bled on them and they turn pink, I'm still going to rock them. Like, it's nobody's going to see if they're pink, right? My wife will see them. She's not going to raise an eyebrow. She's lazy mother. That's all I'm going to get. Like, men we don't worry. Like, women.
Y'all don't care. Y'all don't care. We try to match bra, panties, socks to the whole damn outfit. And y'all out here just looking outlandish.
Nah, man. I think we had this conversation on the podcast before, huh? Like y'all, and I hate to speak for y'all, right? And y'all probably, who the hell is y'all? Like, women, right? Y'all women. Let's run it together. Y'all women, y'all don't get glammed up for dudes. Y'all be looking good, right? I don't know, some of you just double share. Y'all be looking good, but it's not for dudes. Like y'all, because women are the most competitive people on earth because they're always trying to be fly. So other women will take a quick inventory, like, that bitch, that bitch. So they can mentally have another woman say that about them in their heads. Like, dudes, we ain't talking about, I'm about to kill him with the drip. No, like when you get to a certain age, man, what them sweatpants at? You see my hoodie? Where my hat at? Man, let me go ahead. Where the Nike size at?
Killing with the drip. What rap star have you been listening to?
It's the young cats. You sometimes I am guilty.
I'm gonna need you to quit listening.
I am sometimes guilty of going down the TikTok rabbit hole. TMI. TMI, right? This has nothing to do with nothing, right? It just came to me. Because song I wrote.
Shit to do with nothing. Okay.
Shout out to my man Biggie. He came to me like a song I wrote. I'm thinking about deleting IG, right? Because what happens is IG, they have TikTok videos on them, right? And so I have found myself like and I'm wrong. I need to get this time back. I can never get this time back. But yeah, I've just wasted about an hour and a half of my life just going down the Busted Challenge video. Like, just, man, Lord have mercy. Like, why? Just there. Like, okay. And like at least 90%, like, and you see it, like 90% when they do the Busted Challenge, like, cool, not a problem. That's a good look. Now there's 10%, like, it's nothing you can do. I don't care how you twerk it, drop it, rock it, fly. It ain't nothing you can do, bro. You should have a challenge of don't ever do that challenge again. It's just not meant for you, right? Like,
Well, have you seen the ones now where the husbands are interrupting where the girl go to drop it and the husband's like, not at my house, she ain't.
No. Okay, I seen one where she tried to drop it and then Bama snatched the ring off her finger. That was funny.
Oh, yeah, he put her outside.
Right. But the one that really killed me was Monica with her little thin, and she's so cute. But she just like, come on, Mom, you never had a butt, never will. It's cool, right? Like you were gifted genetically not to gain no weight. And then she was about to, and her son was like, what? Her son jumped in like, you somebody, mother, please get out of here. I died laughing. That shit was so funny, right?
Sit down.
For sure. So I am guilty of going down that rabbit hole and refusing to return, So
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. I'm gonna need intervention. I ain't gonna lie. So you need to call my little brother. You need to call my wife. I need to sit down and take my phone off my hands, and yeah, that's just not good. So.
But the thing I was going to say though about MJ and the weight loss thing is I like the fact that she has the option to do it for herself. Whereas like with me as a child, it like in that age range, for us 80s kids who were going to school in the 90s, like we were teased for being overweight and things like that. So it gets to be, an empowerment movement for her. And I love that she's becoming more health conscious for herself, not because she's quote unquote being bullied or teased or anything like that. Like she's just doing it for herself, which is great because it teaches her great skills before she becomes an adult, because I don't think we as adults really pay attention to what we teach our kids. Like guy A is, living off of fruit snacks.
It is what it is.
Listen, he's got the worst. No, it's not the Lay's. It's the Pringles. The Pringles is his thing. Pringles and veggie straws, ranch flavor. Like,
it's my man.
Listen, when he's with me, he eats pretty decent. Because if I pick him up and I'll say, "Lena, are you hungry?" Yes. What do you want? Nuggets. Now I've gotten over on my grandson, and he is not aware. There's two things I do. One, I always order extra sauce at Chick-fil-A, and I put it in the condiment drawer in my refrigerator. Because when it comes over, I give him the nuggets that are like the veggie nuggets, or like they're made out of whatever 80% veggies, whatever. And that's how we get the veggies in him, because he's like really like he's applesauce, yogurt, fruit snack, veggie straw kind of.
I've been in done that. I promise you.
Like he's not eating real food. Like I forgot what he had the other day when we were on FaceTime, and he's so sweet. Of course, he was trying to feed me through the phone, but it was Pringles and something else. Like let's say Pringles and a cookie. And I was like, that's your total calorie consumption. He's like, yeah. I said, you don't want a piece of chicken? No. You want a piece of fruit? I had an apple. I'm like, a real apple? Like, son. So yeah, but those are the things, that I don't think that we think of, is that, they watch us eat and they watch how we take care of ourselves. And in turn,
they pick up on the bad habits, but right.
Yeah,
but she went the opposite way. Matter of fact, I get off this, I need to have that conversation to find out how did she, and then she's been on me. So I have to do better because I'm older now. The bounce back, like I have no bounce back in me, right? I'll never get back to days of past glory. That's gone. But what I can be real mindful, right? Definitely I can be mindful, right? Really have to be mindful. My old man birthday just passed, yesterday as of this recording, right? 117, right? And he actually died of a diabetic stroke. So, diabetes do run high in my family. So I really need to be mindful, scale back, at least get some type of outside of work, physicality back into my life. And I definitely have to watch my diet, stop talking about it and go be about it. It's not even for me, to be honest. For me, it's just, I want to be satisfied in the moment, but I want to elongate my life as however long possible, because there's certain things I want to, pardon me, I want to see before I go, right? I'm going to say this and we can move on. I want to see a couple of things. I want to see my youngest daughter, which is Marmar, get married, have kids, and be a parent, right? Like, cause like I curse like a sailor, right? Like, a lot of things I could do in front of her that's uber wrong. And so the least thing I do is curse, like, just who I am as a person, right? And she's giving me that look like, really? Like, it is what it is, right? So I told her, I said, one day when you get kids, you too will curse, right? One day when you get kids, she told me, I'm never going to spank my kids. It's just not, I'm going to talk to them. I'm like, yeah, okay. If they're anything like you, I promise you, you're going to throw something at them. If they're anything like you, like I show a lot of restraint. So I just want to stay alive long enough to hear it's going to sound crazy. I just want to stay alive long enough to hear her curse, right? You know what I mean? And I also want to stay alive long enough. Say again?
I said, and her spank one of her kids.
Yes, that's all I want to do, and I'm good, because I want to just look at her before I put my head in the pillow and go sleep, and I wake up and say, I told you you're going to curse at your little badass. I told you you're going to throw a shoe across the room with their head. You told me what you ain't going to do. You're speaking from a space of not having. Wait till you get and see if you can speak from that same space.
Right. Listen, kids test all your resilience and everything you said. I will say this, everybody's mama always says to them, one day you're going to get blessed with a kid that act just like you.
Ooh, mama cursed me. She ain't blessed me. That was a curse. She hit the Whoopi Goldberg hand.
Okay, they didn't bless me; they cursed me. And then for me, the real double-edged sword for me is I can't have kids. So I didn't get kids that act like me. I got other people's kids who act like me. So you got my niece, my nephew, and my grandson who, you know, all act like me. And I'm like, and the thing is though, I'm really not a big spanker. I mean, people probably think so, but honestly, with those three, even with my daughter, I don't really have to threaten them too much to spank them. I mean, I've spanked guy A more than anybody, but well, my guy and my guy A probably have received the brunt of the spankings that I've had to dish out. But honestly, me talking to them, if they know I'm upset or they know I'm gonna be disappointed, that's enough to break their heart. So they really will kind of spank themselves in a certain kind of way. But
right, that disappointment is a mother.
Yeah, they know that look. They know that look. I'll be like, I just can't believe this is what we doing, you know, after all this conversation, after all this, you know, whatever, you know. I'm busting my tail to help you, your mom and your dad, and this is where we at. Like, this is what we do.
This is what we do.
Shaking my head. This is what we do. It's got to be high pitched, though. It's got to be high pitched because you got to feel my angst. This is what we do.
This is terrible. And speaking, you just so manipulative. And speaking of what we do,
we are going to my favorite part of the show called What the Fuck News that DK swears up and down that I'm on the dark web conjuring up.
You on the dark web. Give the whole story. You on the dark web and
my
your wife beater.
I'm not. I'm in my pajamas still today.
Right. But when you got that news article you about to share with the listeners, you was in your basement with the wife beater on, no bra, Scully with the Scully on, cigarette dangling.
Derek is the one.
Cigarette dangling from your lip, drinking a Budweiser.
That's Derek. That's Derek in his full, like, honest to God. That's Derek. He can't smoke in the house, but that's Derek. He always has a skull cap on, the beanie, the like fabric, you know, like sweater looking beanies. He's always got a wife beater on, sweatpants and a beard. Modelo. And he goes outside to smoke every day, multiple times a day. That's Derek. That's not me. You got me mistaken for my boo.
All righty then.
Just tell me.
I guess I wasn't the only one for TMI, but moving right along.
There we go. So this one said, listen, you try to describe me to the listeners, you got to get me right. I'm in my Hugh Hefner robe with my Hugh Hefner robe.
Where your bunny's at then, Hugh? Where's your so Dirk, your bunny?
Yep.
The disrespect is intolerable,
it's real.
People.
It's real. It's real. The disrespect is real. Yeah, no, I be in my Hugh Hefner robe, minding my business. That's what I be doing, and with my fuzzy slippers or my Nike slides. It just depends on the day, on how hard my thuggism is. with my compression sleeve still on my ankle. For my Scarlet takes a tumble on New Year's. Anyway, this is called I Had a Hot Hookup on My Train Home. Listen, I do not make up these stories, y'all. I can always repost them on social media if you need me to. It says, I actually hooked up with my high school sweetheart in the days right after my divorce. He and I were on the same train together, traveling towards what had been our mutual hometown growing up, and ended up hooking up in the quiet carriage. To be honest, it gave me a little bit of a train fetish, even to this day. Submitted by Stephanie, who spells her name with an F, and she is currently 39.
That's the whole story?
That's the whole story.
That's it? Mm-hmm. No details? Just I hooked up on the train with my ex, and that's all Stephanie had.
That's all Stephanie had. Apparently, she said it was quiet, but listen, there was some rocking of the... Somebody caboose was getting blown out. Okay,
so let me help you give that what the fuck news some life, right? Like, I think you need to go say, okay, cool. So that what the fuck news, you did not go down in the deep web to find. You got that shit off your phone while you sitting on the toilet taking a shit. Look, so don't ever do that again. Don't ever, build up that anticipation that we going down in something good and that's all we like. What? That's like how you be kissing and be like,
it all can't be perverted.
It don't gotta be perverted, but it gotta be to the point where, as like, I can't even get into DK mode off of that. Like, really, but because
you can't get into DK mode.
I can't. But since I'm what I can do is I can take that because that died on arrival. It's okay. I got you. It's all right. I'm gonna resuscitate this part of the podcast, right? So I'm gonna ask you. right? And then you can ask that question to me. What is the most craziest place that you hooked up in your
Stairwell.
lifetime?
Stairwell in my apartment. The
Stairwell in church. What?
Stop it. Stairwell in my apartment.
So is you gonna be like Stephanie with the F and give no details, or you gonna go in?
I'm not. So
see, you both bad as Stephanie with the F.
Listen, because we let your mind wander. The thing about the stairwell is that I had my apartment that I lived in before my house is one of those like indoor outdoor. So you walk in a door and then you're outside and then you actually go to the apartment. And the thing is, those doors that you walk through are all glass. Now it's between stairwells and, you know, a solid wooden door. So there you have it.
Wow.
Girl,
KK the exhibitionist. Bah, bah, bah.
Right. I made somebody a voyeur that night. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, for real.
And if it's not that, listen, if it's not that, it was on the actual balcony of my apartment. There you have it.
Okay. All right. So do you see you in your current, you know what I mean, Bo, having bouts of exhibitionism?
Yeah. Just because he dates me. Poor thing. The poor pumpkin, the poor deer.
Right. I've never done anything anywhere odd. So we're gonna move along. I've never done anything. I just needed to ask you that question.
The lies from the lies from the sex addict. How dare you come on the show and be Stephanie
non-transparent?
Yes, it was Stephanie with an F.
DK with an F. DK. Like a DK with an F. To answer that question, man, like we could be here all day. Like that in itself is a podcast.
No. We're not.
That's why I can't just choose one, right? I just can't choose.
Sometimes you don't.
Thinking. Reminisce over you. Y'all gotta pardon me. I'm thinking about it. Cause like I said, it's a multitude. Okay. The craziest place was actually, in the back. We didn't even make it in the hotel. In the back of the hotel, behind the dumpster, as rats ran across our feet. Yes. It's crazy, right? Like, because I work behind a trash truck now, right? I'm so scared of rats. And it's not that I'm scared of them. It's just like they're so, when you pop a lid open before you bang a can, you don't expect nothing live to be in a trash can, right? And I've been doing my job for 13 years. Been time for me to go, right? So when you pop it and then sometimes they're not small, right? The babies, you're not even tripping. Sometimes things come out looking like, what the fuck? You were supposed to be in New York with your big ass. You down here in DC, right? I don't know. You was a super rat.
Listen, they took the subway like everybody else. The hell?
I don't know what they took, but you know, they need to take that's where we come from. But yeah, I had met this female. We was at an Ice Cube concert, and this was in the 930 Club. It was actually downtown before they moved it to 9th Street. And I didn't know her from Adam and Eve. We both enjoyed the concert, whatever the case may be. And we got to talking one thing or another. I pulled up to a spot. My man worked in a hotel downtown because, of course, I'm paying fucking, you know, that bill was too fucking high. And I'm like, man, you gonna let us? And then I called him, and because he worked security, he's like, I'm gonna pop the back door. I got you. So I called him. He ain't answering. I'm like, So I led around and she ain't had no qualms with it. So yeah, we got uber busy behind the dumpster as rats scurried around us. You know, it's crazy. Like, it's like if I wasn't in a heightened state of arousal, I'd have been screaming and running towards my car, right? But because I was in an uber heightened state of arousal, I paid them rats no mind. I gave them rats a show. I promise you, they stopped and stepped on the legs and started clapping like, whoa, bravo, encore. Like, no, I'm done. I got to go home. Sun coming up. So,
hush your face. So we're going to introduce a new segment to our listeners. Kind of, you know, named after yours truly. It's called Baldheaded Hoe Shit Awards. So every episode, we're going to be giving the Baldheaded Hoe Shit Award to somebody different. It could be some bald-headed hoe shit, and it might not be. Today, however, is not. Today's Baldheaded Hoe Shit Award goes to Amanda Gorman. She is currently 23 years old. She's a National Youth Poet Laureate. That happened when she was 16. Like I said, she's 23 now. She will actually be reading a poem that she wrote on this Wednesday at the inauguration. So shout out to Amanda Gorman for, Pretty Girl Rock, doing the damn thing, for brown girls everywhere.
Facts. It's a beautiful thing that, she is the second recipient of the Baldheaded Shit Award.
Baldheaded Shit Award. It's not that hard.
I'm just thinking, right? The Baldheaded Shit Award. So you make sure that you tag her, and recognize that she's doing something phenomenal. Although you would think the title of the award would make you think otherwise, right? So that's us on the show. We're gonna give you, things that make you think like, well, I don't want that. Yes, you do want this award. It's right. You definitely want this award. It will mean something to somebody someday.
Right. Listen, I can't be the onlyest one with it. So now I'm sharing.
Right. But we're sharing the people that's actually doing something, but you got that title because of things that you do with your boyfriend. But one day we'll have your SO over to talk about the things that you do.
We're not getting him a mic. I told you after that day he sat up here talking about, what did he call himself? Big Daddy D or some shit. I'm like, right.
What? Like if your
ass right. If you don't get your ass out of my chair, get your mouth away from my mic and go find something to do in the kitchen or go fix something, Bob the Builder. You will get popped today. I mean, he was just 2, 3, Big and Daddy. He thought it was hysterical.
With him, like if your name ain't Big Daddy Kane, like there's no other, like you don't.
Oh, right. Don't do it.
Yeah, Big Daddy Kane rolling around his grave right now. It's terrible.
Yeah, he wanted to be Key Sweat so bad at the Sweat Hotel. It was disgusting.
Well, I don't know. I still say this would be interesting. Now, it'd be a train wreck, but I think our ratings would really, our ratings shares would go through the roof if we would have our significant others on the podcast spilling beans and dirt about us. Now, I can't speak for you and yours, but mine is Little Train. She knows what to say, not say.
Oh, he need a shot collar. Listen, because the thing is this, he does not care. He just does not care. He's going to tell the business regardless. He going to tell it exactly how he felt about it. And then this is exactly what he going to say. Flat out. I'm like, what you mean? Flat out. Like, he'll just say whatever. And then he's like, flat out. That's what I mean. That's what I said. And he's done.
So I guess we won't be having our significant others.
No, not that one. Not that one. That one he ain't got no filter. He ain't never going to grow one. And I mean, and true, the other thing is that he enjoys getting underneath my skin. Like, it brings him some sick pleasure to know that it, like, stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I can understand why. It's payback because you stay underneath all men's skin, but we digress. Anyway, moving along.
Y'all let me. So, speaking of my significant other, so in new relationships, you have to have those tough conversations, and we've been doing quite well with them. We try to do like 2 relationship questions a day, and whatnot. So, here's the conversation was about hall passes. So, do you know what a hall pass is, DK? I mean, you've been married
all married men know what a hall pass is, right? But could you enlighten me? Because if you're a married man and you don't know what a hall pass is, I promise you, the longer you be married, say again.
Wow, married men need to know.
Because the longevity of being faithful to one woman is why they would automatically know, right?
Mm.
But it'll make sense to you. Maybe it won't. But look, anyway, let the readers know, just in case they don't know what a hall pass is, please.
All right, listeners. A hall pass is a hall pass is exactly what it sounds like. When we were in kids in school, you had to have a hall pass to go to the bathroom or go to the principal's office, nurse's office, wherever you were going. So in a relationship, a hall pass is a pass to have sex with somebody else. Now, depending on your relationship, it could be a once a week thing. It could be a once a month thing. It could be a once in a lifetime thing. So in previous relationships, I had a hall pass. It's not really uncommon knowledge to some. It probably is to others. But I did have a hall pass. I dated guys who were typically not in the same city. So I got a hall pass just as a, emergency break the glass. Well, I broke the glass a lot. That's all I'll say. So, with Derek and I being in the same city, it doesn't make sense for me to have a hall pass because I really don't need one because he's here a good 95% of the time, which is not a bad thing. So I had said to him, do I get a hall pass? Because I've always kind of had one. I've kind of grown comfortable and used to having one. He looked at me and
ho in your house. Look, ho. Like, what the fuck? I'm so stuck because, okay, like G Monelli juice with extra G Monelli. How do you ask your SO to have a hall pass because you're used to, do you just, okay, stop. Do you actually, I don't know if you really said that, but if you really said that, like, okay, I'm not gonna knock him. I did that when I first found out, I need to listen back to, I forget what episode it is, when I gave him his special name that will always hold true to my heart. Look, but my thing is this, ain't no damn way somebody talking about, because just, it ain't, okay. So like you said, just a few moments ago, you had one because you had both parties was out of, and then y'all like, we both have needs. That doesn't mean I doesn't, whatever. I get that, right? It's not a problem. That's not as uncommon, right? But why would you ask based on the simple fact that it's just because I always had one, right? And I know you going, I know I cut you off, and I know there's a reason why, and I know you're going to get there, but I gotta ask before you get there. So why would you ask if business was being handled at home? Because like the reason is the hall pass is that I get an extra piece of whatever just because, right? But you got living dick now. Like it ain't cross state lines dick no more. You have literally, like, your dick has a key to your front door. You got your dick got keys. Your dick got keys.
Doorbell. The mailman.
Your dick got, right. Your dick got keys. Your dick has mail delivered there, right? Your dick has a great relationship with your mom. I'm so stuck on how can you even ask, and you got living dick.
Some things I just ask for shock value just to see what his face is going to do. I mean, just as much as he likes to get up underneath my skin, I like to get up underneath his. But two, I think, again, these are tough conversations you have to have. Everybody's limitations. Everyone's limitations are different because case in point, we have that whole, good laughing tee, ha ha ha. We capitalized off and made t-shirts. The entanglement thing is that every relationship is different, and what somebody else will allow, you might not. That's fine, but don't yuck my yum. So I asked all the necessary questions.
Okay. I get that, right? And you 99.9% right, but that 0.00001% that I think that you're full of shit. How would you have felt if he'd have been like, "Hey, babe," whatever he calls you, babe, K, red bone female, whatever, right? Whatever he calls you, snuggle bunny. I don't know, right? Right, dude. I don't know what he calls you, right? So, you called that, not a problem. Look, so whatever, my guy.
Right, my guy. Hey.
My man's in them, right? My man's in them. Let me acknowledge for a second. What if he would have came to you talking about asking for that, right? You're going to this is what you're going to think. Now, of course, you're going to deny it, right? It's all right. You're going to think that he has his eye on something and he wants permission to see how far he can go, what he has his eye on. Like, he would think, you was going to think that he's not satisfied. Like, I'm doing every trick I know and then some. So why would this early in the relationship would you even bother to ask? Wait until we got a mid drought going on. Wait until, like, I don't no longer have the will or the need to, you know what I mean? Or I'm not able to perform. And then you would ask. But to ask right now, and the relationship ain't even 90 days old.
Listen, I like to get things out of the way. Listen, I've already talked about prenup. And we've discussed marriage.
You're supposed to discuss prenup as soon as it got soon. The word serious don't even have to be injected into the relationship. You get sir, the SER. So you say, we got to talk prenup. We got to talk about what's mine is mine, what's mine is mine.
Right. Prenup, post-nup, marriage counseling. We've talked about the whole thing. So, I mean, how was a hall pass out of the way? And the thing is this too. I mean, the hall pass kind of really was more or less because, our goals. And I'm not saying because of it, but when you're sitting there talking about life goals, like I said to him yesterday, he was cooking dinner, and I said, babe, when I blow up, you can't start acting brand new. And he said, what? And I was like, you can't you can't start acting special, being like, oh, my wife is X, Y, and Z. No, you still got to
What
brief
the
the car.
hell? The guy said this all cowboy shit. Why would he act brand new? It ain't like he blew up. His shoe that blew up. He ain't gonna. Why would he do
Because we don't see this all the time. Come on now. You got spouses you have the quote unquote normal spouses of celebrities, and they like to name drop, and they want the same benefits of the celebrity. It happens a lot. So my thing of it was, with traveling and all those kind of things was, I asked now. So then later on, when I tried to, handle my swerve, it's not a surprise. We're like, no. We talked about this day one. Could I get a hall pass? You said yes. I did not use it for X amount of years. Now I'm on the road. Can I use my hall pass? Yes or no?
You have set the women's movement back.
Oh my God. Bullshit.
You have set the women.
Bullshit. Because it's fine if a man does it, but as soon as a woman does it, she's setting the movement back. Oh my God. Come on.
You have burnt your last good bra.
The lies. The bitches is too expensive to burn anyway. My shit is
No, you have set the movement back. You have burnt your last good bra. And the women have disowned your monkey ass. And let me tell you why. So look, right, don't get me wrong. Like, if you're okay, we're having fun and games, but let's go ahead and get a little substance out of this, right? If you're into an open relationship, that's not a problem. Like, I think you're right. That needs to be discussed. And it's the difference between being in an open relationship and a hall pass, right? An open relationship is y'all have understanding, boundaries are set about what you can and cannot do with members of people that you want to have sex with. That's not me, right? That's an open relationship. Has nothing to do with, do I get to, have fun if an offer comes and I want to entertain that offer. That's the difference between a hall pass and an open relationship. Now, if you said that you and SO, your significant other, had that conversation, then okay, cool, not a problem. I wouldn't be yucking your yum. I would not be looking at the microphone thinking it's your face with a raised eyebrow. I wouldn't be doing none of that wild cowboy shit. But just your reasoning, your stance was, I asked because I always had one. And just because I'm with you, just because I'm in love, right? I won't try to define what that means to you and him. Just because you're those things, like, I'm still going to ask. Now, me personally, like, if me and so I'm going to put it in my court, right? If me and Nikki was like you, brand new, and then she would ask that, I promise you, we done. I'm out. Because I'm looking like, you at least gotta you gotta give me that lie before you give me that truth. And that's very old school. And this is what I mean by that. Like, that lets me know, if we only less than 90 days in, that, okay, my dick game is trash, right? Like, you're not happy. You like me as a person. You like me as a provider. You like me as being, father to your kids, but you need outside, you need something more than what I'm giving. So automatically my ego, we can't stay. We got to get out of here. I promise you, my ego be my ego be sitting on my shoulder, right? Yeah, the ego will be sitting on my shoulder, man, if you don't leave this bitch, you better leave this bitch. Why are you still here? I'm gone. I'm not. The ego would leave before me, right? The ego would leave, and then we'd have sex. Your dick don't get up. My ego left. When you asked me that, you took away the power of erection. Because in my mind, I can't perform anyway because you need outside. So the ego sitting in the car talking about, I told you I was done. Yeah, you need me to perform.
The car up, my nigga.
Exactly. The ego sitting there I don't care how many pills you pop. I'm not performing, nigga. You lost your mind. Shit, you can have a massive heart attack trying to get it up. It's not happening.
How's the guy on top of me? Color purple.
So what I'm telling you, I don't know his, I probably call him out the blue. He probably real fucked up. He be all right though. Look, cause I have to know the answer, cause you're not gonna give me the full truth. But there is no way in talk. You're not gonna get the full truth. Women rarely do. Women, that's me. I'm being sexist. It's all right.
I brought my business to the podcast, and I'm not being honest.
as well, you should bring your business because if you don't bring your business to the podcast, I'm gonna bring your business to the podcast. So beat me to the punch. Look, but there's no way in a Tarzan hell that I can maintain knowing that you looking for like it's too early in the relationship to want options.
That's the whole thing. I was
you
not.
Can't even. Okay. Not a problem. There's always truth in jest, right? There's truth always. The greatest comedians are great, not because the jokes are hee hee ha ha, that I can find a kernel of truth within the joke. So I'm laughing at my reality. That's what makes it so real. Why you think people love the fuck out of Dave Chappelle? Dave Chappelle is not you don't die laughing from Dave's shit. I think Dave is the by far most intelligent comedian known to man. Like isn't like for him to, and he's two things. He's the most intelligent comedian ever to bless a mic, right? And I think he's like the perfect tongue-in-cheek storyteller. Now you have some comedians that is so funny that like when you see them, you just start crying, right? They're funny, right? But Dave take it to another level, like, and you leave his show just as much satisfied. Like if you would have seen somebody that like Eddie, and Eddie is good. But if we're talking about if you with the intelligent humor, you know what I mean, then you can rock with Dave before you rock with Eddie. And that's not a jab at Eddie because Eddie's like, one of the all-time greats, not a problem. But what makes all of them great, right? What makes any and all of them great, there's truth in their message. Kevin Hart used to get up on stage and do some doggone crazy thing. And then the older comedian told him like, look, man, that's not going to go far. If you want to have longevity in this business, you got to talk about shit that's real to you. And if it's real to you, that means somebody else in the audiences will have went through it too, because you're not unique unto yourself. And so when Kevin took that advice, his career took off, right? That's a true story right there. So when you even having that conversation and it's in jest, there's still a kernel of truth in you having that conversation of wanting an out or wanting to exercise an out. And I apologize because I didn't even give you a chance to actually answer the question and be honest, right? Please. And to satisfy my curiosity, how would you have felt if S.O. Dirt, you know what I mean, would have came to you out the clear blue sky, you know what I mean, and been like, yo, I was thinking about, how you feel about if I get a hall pass?
I mean, I felt the same way when he asked me about he asked me about a threesome. Like I'm not gonna lie, they're gonna have the most outlandish conversations, and not because we're going to act upon them. Again, I think it's just for the shock value to see, like how far can I push you before you snap, crackle, and pop. But yeah, he said something about threesome maybe yesterday, and it was like, babe, how come, babe, if we were going to do a threesome, would you want a guy or a girl? And I said, I would go for the guy because that's just how I'm built. I said, why is it always in the context of threesome that a man thinks that a woman wants another woman? Why? I'm not even into women. Clearly.
Yeah, but that's more, going down the slippery slope. That's more acceptable, right? That's just, if you look at, I'll tell you why. If you calm your manish ass down, I'll tell you why. Right. Because that's the way that America has shaped it, right? Because women in general, they have this, y'all good with giving other women compliments that's not, you won't raise an eyebrow. Like if you see another woman and then she got a skirt on and then she got a slit, you're gonna reach and point to that slit. You're gonna notice, like, oh God, your legs look great. Oh, you are rocking those heels, right? Like I love that. Oh, that sweater, whatever, that sweater dress really accentuates your tits.
Sexual harassment, yeah.
Right. A guy is not walking up to another dude talking about Slim, that suit. Boy, them shoulders. You see the traps? Man, where you work out at? We not doing none of that. And I'm not saying, okay, we're not doing none of that. I'm going to just stop right there, right? We don't, and I'm not knocking the hustle for those that do. Most men that I know, we don't walk, like, the most we get like, okay, boo, you rocking that, you killing that. And that's all we're saying. That's a good look. You rocking it, you killing that. We're not getting into specifics on a man's body. Right. That's not what we're doing. And I can hear somebody now, that means you're not comfortable in your sexuality. It don't mean that. It's just as what men do. And there's a certain sector of men don't have no problem with that. And I'm not knocking y'all hustle. So let me put that out there before that. I don't need the blowback. Right. My name ain't Kevin Hart. I'm not apologizing. Kiss my ass. Look, but what I'm telling you is, let me be specific. The men in my circle, if we killing something, we like, boom, like my man see me when I was like losing weight. He's like, damn, Slim, you done lost a rack of weight. And that was it. he didn't go into details of like, what diet are you doing? What, how many sit-ups are? Let me touch your abs. You're like, what the? I will stab you with a butter knife. You'll get your mug ass away from me.
Not a butter knife.
A butter knife. Because that's my man. I love him. Look, so we're not doing that. But whereas women, they can be strangers. I give you a case in point. My wife, pre-pandemic, and for all you Eddie Griffin fans, pre-pandemic, they used to take, they used to have conventions, Pure Romance. They used to have them in your state, Ohio, right? And so they would, to save money, they would all stay in the room together. Like they would, bunker up, right? Not a problem. And so she was there with a white chick. And of course they're walking around because you get dressed, go down for the award show, go for dinner, and then whatever outings that Pure Romance has planned for its consultants, right? And so my wife was like, in her bra and panties, and the white chick was like, oh my God, I love your ass. My wife's like, I didn't know how to feel. Like, I didn't know if I was being hit on a compliment it, right? But this woman is a complete stranger, and she had no qualms of talking about, oh, I love your ass. Like, what? A man can't do that. Because even if a man that's comfortable in his sexuality said that to another man, the man that you're saying that to, that could be still comfortable in his sexuality, still going to look at you like, what? Like, you didn't just say you was...
You didn't listen. That's very Kevin Hart. Wait a minute. We didn't go zoom past like you didn't just say what you just said.
Right. We're not going. How you going to gloss over that? What the hell? We're not doing none of that. Like, if we do gloss over it, I'm gonna walk faster. I'm gonna walk away from you. So I'm getting my ass on the eyesight. That's what I'm gonna do. Like, suck. I don't know where this is going to, and I don't need one of us. I don't need one of us with cross signal. So I'm gonna go this way, and then hopefully you'll take me walking, maybe running away as like, nah, I'm good, right? And I'm not knocking anybody that's their lifestyle. Please don't read too much into this. I promise you. But what I am saying is, like, with all that being said, that's how come, or that's why. My daughter gets me when I say that's how come. I run all that shit together. But that's why when men talk about menage a trois, we're like we're okay, cool. Like, let's do me, you, baby, and another female. Like, first of all, unless a female's into females, or she's two things. A female has to be really into females to be like, okay, cool. Or she just wants to please her man. That's the only two reasons that she'll jump out the window. Now, you do have some guys that like, cool. Like, if I can get what I want, I'll give you what you want. Let me tell you what, that couldn't be me, right? That, because with my luck, my wife's gonna choose a big dick nigga.
Listen, we all know my type, so we all know we all know who I'm picking, who I'm gonna take, and I'm gonna go outlandish and shit.
This is terrible, Rico. This is terrible. Exactly, right. So, but my thing is, like, a man we can't, like, so, like, even if that was Dirk's, like, you can't ask, because what happens is, you think, so Dirk, if you ever listen to this episode of the podcast, you think Karen was joking when she was like, why can't I have two dicks in the mix? Yours and somebody else's. Like, I don't know her that well, but if I had to guess, because I'm always joking about her manly attitude, like, she'll just go as far just to see how far you go before you pull the plug. Like, and then you'll be, and the rest of the relationship will never be the same, because you think she was going to go all the way, and because she loved you, she was going to see how far you was going to take it, and she was going, and everybody in there kept waiting for somebody to lay down.
Why you gonna tell all my business, son?
I'm just saying. So certain things you don't like. Once again, he down bad. You never.
Clearly, no.
I apologize. So certain things you don't bring to the table unless you want to see it all the way through. And you not even in joking. I've never broached my wife with that subject. I've never talked to my wife about a hall pass. I've never talked about my wife about a monopoly. I've never, because I don't know what her answer is. Her answer could have me looking at her different. Like, what? You what? Oh, she might say, yeah. And then she might say, okay, I don't even need no extra sausage. I want me a female. And then you would think, like, oh, I get some free pussy. Like, no, because I love you. I'm good. And then the dude's like, oh, he's so fake. It's a possibility I could be faking. Strong possibility. But what I do know, it would change the dynamic of a relationship, right? Now, let me go ahead, because I'm always putting Karen's business on Front Street. Let me be uber transparent. Now, when we first met, because she's the mother of my kids, right? So there's a certain way I look at you because you're the mother of my kids. Now, when we first got together and we ain't had no kids, like, I mean, if that was broach and you talking about you want to bring your girlfriend, I'm like, because you got bad girlfriends. So I'm like, it's a strong possibility. But then again, we if that would have happened, I don't know if we would have made it this far 13 years in.
Right.
So with that being said, hall pass, would you give him one?
Would I give him a hall pass? If I got one, yes. I mean, and that was really what his conclusion of it was. I mean, I knew subconsciously he was going to say no, and I knew I was going to say no because, I mean, all jokes aside, we all know I'm super territorial and I'm super selfish with my significant other.
Right. Okay, true. But I'm not going to let you do that. Why would you want to? I'm talking. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Listen, because I'm a man and I want to finish.
Most men do. You're not going to shortchange me in my stroke.
Right. I'm like mid-stroke, and you trying to fuck up the game. Like, stop talking to me. No.
You should have been game.
Right. I'm like mid-stroke. Like, stop talking to me. I just want to get this done. But no, subconsciously,
I knew. You should be popping on pills. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Right. Damn gas station pills. Damn gas station pills. That's what happens. You take them damn gorilla pills. This is what happens. All my manhood is showing. Jesus. Anyway, so subconsciously I knew he would say no, but because, you know, we dated once upon a time, I think I like to pick the most outlandish relationship questions because I just want to see where his head is. And sometimes, like, again, I just want to see his reaction. But I know he's very much into monogamy and he's a very one woman kind of guy.
To your knowledge.
As far as I know, yeah, he's never cheated.
I know that's what everybody. Go ahead.
No, and I know his exes, so I could easily ask. You know, again, our families know each other really well, so a lot of the shit will come out in the wash.
To your knowledge, you can't put somebody like, you're young. Let me help you. Has nothing to do with me. I'm only helping you with this. Like, I never give somebody and say what they won't do. I say that even in my relationship, like, my wife is faithful to me, to my knowledge. But keep in mind, I go out the door 5 days out the week, right? I don't check her phone, right? I don't use her computer. So to my knowledge, I don't go looking. I don't, there's no need. Like, and even if you got some big dick nigga on the side, right? Like, his shit hanging down to his motherfucking kneecap. You know what I mean? Like, even if he blowing your back out and you sleep with your thumb in your mouth, talking about, you know, your whole spine hurt because it got realigned. Like, as long as you still maintain what's going on in my household, I'm not giving you the blessing to do what you want to do. Just don't let this shit come to light. I'm not looking. And then I can always say, to my knowledge, you use 100 with me. That way, if the shit ever come left, I'm not as hurt. And I think that's what happened with a lot of people, right? They always put, oh, he would never, oh, she would never, oh, like, first of all, never say, like, never is a word that should never be used. Like, never is a word that should never be used, because as soon as you get to talking with somebody else that you have no control over what they won't do and they do it, you are twice, sometimes 3 times as devastated because you believed, because you wanted to believe and was given no substance to believe that they wouldn't do what you said they never was going to do.
Right.
And now you boo-hooing, crying, and you're drinking, and you're eating ice cream, and you sit with your girlfriends, and then you calling up other exes because you're trying to fuck that memory away. You know what I mean? Or you want to JT that boy, and you want to drink that memory away. No, lay in that pain. Let that pain teach you. Never put nobody on the pedestal and talk about what they won't do. You know what I mean? By the grace of God, they maintain and take care of home. And so whatever they're doing, by the grace of God, they're not going to bring that light to the doorstep. Just take it. And I'm not giving nobody the blessing to creep and be great at what they do. But what I'm saying is, never say what they ain't going to do. Just like I hope that Dirk would think that you would never jump left, because we all, going back to the hall pass boy, we all got exception to the rule, right? For yours is Rico, the porn star. Like, I don't know what you chose to do. You could have chose a movie star. You're like, Rico, the porn star. Like, and it's crazy because Rico will see you and get at you, right? So your exception to the rule, you have access to that. That's not far. Now, if you would have said somebody like Michael B. Jordan, right? First of all, you don't walk in his circle, so you bumping into him is highly unlikely, right? The closer you'll get to Michael B. Jordan is when you rent a movie from Redbox, or you watch a movie on Netflix or Prime Video. That's the closest you get to Michael B., right? But Rico, doggone information is right there on whatever. Like, you call Rico up. Rico, like, what's you got a scene now? I'm gonna see his personal. Okay, cool. I charge this much. And so, like, I don't know why you chose him. That's just your cup.
I'm about to mortgage my house for Rico. Come on now, be serious.
I don't think he charges. It's dick, right? He ain't dumb. Ain't nobody paying that much, right? Like, the female stars charge more to their groupie fans than the male stars, because at the end of the day, it's just dick. And a lot of females ain't talking about what. That's one thing about females. Females are spend a stack on shoot, unless you're one of those females. But the 9 to 5 female will legitimately spend a stack on shoes, you know what I mean? And before she spend a stack on dick, and a stack is $1,000. Right. You know what I mean? So that's not, she'll feel good about that because she can't wait to cross her legs and make sure that you see that the bottom of the joints is red. You know what I mean? Once she get that experience, and then after she come a couple of times, she got to ask herself, was this dick $1,000 experience? You know what I mean? Was this dick? It was $1,000 experience. And if it's no, she's like, oh, that was buyer's remorse. And he damn like he did the damn thing. She looking like, oh nigga, can I get a refund? Can I get $799 back? I can't get $799 back. What about $699? Anyway, okay. But
so now I asked him. Again, I asked him outlandish relationship questions because I wanted to see where his head is. And again, to my knowledge, you know, he's a one woman kind of guy. So I really didn't put, and not only did I not put cheating in his hemisphere, I wasn't going to put that energy out to call anybody a cheater. Obviously, because, you know, we brought it to the podcast before, I've been cheated on before. And you know, you have to be very careful about what you manifest and things like that. So do I ask the most outlandish relationship questions? Yes. Sometimes just to see his reaction. But to see where we are and to see where you are, because again, Derek and I have a lot of history, and, you know, some things, you know, with age and wisdom, you're going to say no to. With age and wisdom, you might say yes to, but again, it gave me whatever I wanted to know at that moment. So the answer was no. Because he did say, do you need one? Do you want one? Because he was like, and then his thing was, if I grant you one, are you giving me one in return? And then, of course, it led to, well, why did you have a hall pass and why? So it was a great conversation. It was funny as hell because he's a nut job in itself. And do I feel like he looked at me any differently? No, I just think he just was like,
to your knowledge.
I think he just was like, this broad is nuts. Like, she really be trying me. I think it's really what he walked away with. Like, because he did kind of side to me. Like, he goes, ask me about this again. And I was like, no, I like my life. Thanks, Ike. But no.
Okay. Like I said, to your knowledge, you didn't look at you sideways. Right. Okay. All right. I'm just saying. So we done beating this hall pass horse. Have we got enough glue out of this? This is funny as fuck, man. Like, I don't know. Like, there's a lifestyle out there. I do know that there's a open, like, I have stories to tell, but like we're PG-13ish. I don't want to take us down the R to X-rated road. Like, I have stories to share about the life of being into, like, what? Really? Of course I would. I don't mind if I do, but we're not going to go down that road. At least not this podcast.
Not this podcast.
Yeah, for sure. We'll probably save that. We'll save that for a bonus joint. We'll definitely do that. So with that being said, you got anything else for the listeners and about your crazy household and the way that you needle your man for no reason whatsoever?
I know, I ask him the most outlandish questions, but you got to have tough conversations. And the thing is, you can't ask all fluff and filter. Like, that's not who I am anyway. Like, I'm going to ask, and DK, you know this because you're my friend. Like, I just ask random questions to Ash, and he asked me, he's like, why do you ask these questions? I'm like, because, listen, inquiring minds want to know. Because my thing is, for me, in all seriousness, if you ask all lovey-dovey questions, all you're ever going to get is lovey-dovey answers. The thing is, the relationship is not always going to be lovey-dovey. There's going to be a point where, the honeymoon, like, we're about to come out of that whole honeymoon phase where everything is cute and it's great and it's fantastic. No, life is going to hit. And just like my dad has said about, the reason we go to, the reason you go to marriage counseling is you want to be, like I always say, in front of the train, not behind the train. He's like, marriages are now the minority, not the majority. You want to be set up for success to be in the minority and win at doing so. So when life storms hit and the devil tries you, y'all know what to do. So my thing is, I can't always ask him lovey-dovey questions. Is there always one? I always ask him two questions. One's a real lovey-dovey one and one's a life question, because I want to know, when your back is against the wall, when your character really shows, am I willing to still rock with you? Because what is in your character might not be in mine, and what you might allow, I don't. He's got 2 kids. So how you parent, how I parent, we've already can tell are 2 different ways. Like, I'm like, oh no, my kids can't do that. I will fuck them up. Like, in all seriousness.
Hey, you can't. I'm pretty sure somebody's listening. And they might report you. Right.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, they can't talk to me a certain way, kind of way, and they can't maneuver a certain way, because at the end of the day, they're still a child. But if that's how you and
Yeah,
your
no matter
ex,
how old they are. Right.
right, because
Right.
I'm the oldest one in a heartbeat. I did it like how my dad do me. I said, do I need to put GPS on you? Because I'm calling you and you not responding. And then with you not responding, I don't know what's going on with guy A. Houston, we have a problem. So she quickly called me back after that. I was like, because I'll do it. But my thing is, again, life is not always going to be lovey-dovey. The honeymoon phase is going to end here pretty soon. And, with him getting his work schedule together, me getting my work schedule together, and the podcast, and he's, uber supportive, and he's really great about a lot of things and giving me a lot of allowance to be who I am. And I'm thankful for that, because there's a lot of guys who are intimidated by who Karen R is, period. Because I'm not going to be one of those meek and mild girls. I'm not going to be quiet and sit in the corner and say, yes, babe. I'm not that person. I'm a trailblazer.
Shit. I'm sorry.
I'll be on my bald-headed hoe. I'll be on my bald-headed
because I remember on the application I gave, I got staged application, and then in the box said, checks which one are you? Are you mild, meek, and mannered? Or are you on your wild cowboy shit? And you check
wild cowboy shit is what
you checked the doggone meat, so you lied. It's all right.
Right. And within a month, you were like, nah, this is that wild cowboy shit.
That's that Uber wild cowboy shit.
Uber. I mean, literally, it's always like you always said, you'd be like, here you go, this wild cowboy shit. I mean, it could be something simple, but it's not always going to be that way. I know who I am and he knows who I am. But as you evolve, he's not probably going to get any more aggressive than what he is right now. And he's really not. He's very, I don't want to say meek and mild in a passive aggressive kind of way or in a non-manly kind of way, but he's just a low key chill guy. What you pretty much see is what you get with him. Where with me, you don't know what you're going to get. The Jack in the Box can pop out at any time. I could look real innocent and be real devilish. You just don't know. And so my thing is, in having those tough conversations of relationships, you got to ask all questions. You have to ask all questions, and nothing should be taboo. Whether it's what you like in the bedroom, what you think, if you see something, if you know something, like, why not have an open dynamic? And the thing about even discussing the hall passes, I know that how he responded to it, as outlandish as the question was, I know I can always feel comfortable going to him with anything, because it wasn't like it turned into a yelling match or he felt some kind of way that I know of, like, he wasn't angry about the conversation. He was cooking dinner and I was just sitting there in the chair talking to him, and we were looking at each other and just going back and forth. And I mean, we had a good laugh and everything like that. But I know that at that point, for me, it's like, okay, no matter what I ask you, you'll always be receptive. You'll always answer me. You'll always do it in a loving manner. Period.
Well, that's the case. That's a win-win situation. That's a recipe. That's a recipe for longevity. That's a good look. Congrats.
Thank you. Valentine's Day plans?
I bought a house.
Girl, you been bought that house.
Right. Once again, I'm riding this shit for 10 years. I bought a house. Like, I'm just gonna keep it.
You said 5.
It went to 10. Like, because I bought it and I'm paying a mortgage on it. So yeah. So that's how I'm rocking.
I'm trying to go away. I ain't gonna lie. The Mr. Man is, he's working 6/12s since he got in out the post office. And so he is stressed and tired. He's very grumpy Monday through Friday because, by the time he gets home, he pretty much has like 2 hours to himself to get right back, to get in bed and pretty much get back up and go do it again. And, throwing mail isn't the easiest. So I told him, I was like, and he's not I don't want to say he's not a big Hallmark guy. Originally, when I brought up Valentine's Day, he's like, no, we're not doing anything. And I was like, okay, that's the type of guy you are. And he didn't say it in a dismissive way. He's just like, no, for what? He was like, I don't need a day on the calendar to tell you how much I love you or to buy you something. I said, and I'm not saying that it is, but because it is a new relationship, I want to do things different and on a fresh page. And so he was like, no, we're not going to do Valentine's Day. And I was like, okay. And then the next day I kind of thought about it and I was like, listen, I'm not a big Hallmark person. I don't need the day on the calendar, to buy you something or to do something nice for you. I said, however, it's a new relationship and I want to go away. I was like, it's not even so much about Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is on Sunday, which is his day off. We're both off. I'm like, listen, I want to go bye-bye. Even if it is just overnight. Just you and me. None of the kids. Shut off the phones. Just chill out. And, obviously do what normal grown folks do on somebody else's sheets. Like, that's the whole fun of it. And then we get to come home to our clean bed. See? I was like, there's a method to my madness in my DK voice. There's a method to my madness.
That's a win-win. That's a good look. But yeah, I bought a house. And so I'm sticking to that shit. I'm not. It is what it is. Pay a mortgage.
Well,
I make eye contact when you speak to me. I don't look at your tits. I look at your eyes. And you have nice tits. So speaking of Nikki, so that's what I'm doing.
all right.
Yeah. I cook dinner once in a while. Yeah. Okay. I definitely clean up all the time. Yeah. Fact.
You know, I haven't gotten any treats from your house. I just want to throw that out there.
I talked to my daughter, like, you know, she put her father on.
There was supposed to be some ginger chocolate drops.
Yeah. Once again, that's why I'm gonna get my dog on cranberry bread. That didn't happen either. So, like I tell you, my daughter's too much like me. Like she be like, you tell her something, she give you that look like it's not gonna happen, and it don't happen. So I tell her, like, we'll say this and we'll go ahead and wrap up the podcast. I'll be like, baby, you don't know much how blessed you are to have me as a father. And she think I'm saying that to her in a conceited manner. No, I'm not. Because if you were my mother's child, then you probably wouldn't have made it past 9. I'm just, my mother been in jail. I'm just like, you got cracked all about the frame. Like, what? You ain't, I did not, what are you? You don't have that leeway. But, you know, I give her leeway to express herself, you know, but she takes it to, I ain't gonna lie, she takes it to the extreme. So it is what it is. You got to live with the good and bad. When you try to pull the best out of a person, you give them leeway to be who they are fully, even as a kid. You know, I think with that, you know, so you'll be waiting on your chocolate and I'll be waiting on my bread and we both be waiting. Now, she does work for a price. Like you start throwing money out, I promise you, she put the apron on, wash the hands, pull the hair back in the bun. You know what I mean? She get the cracking, but I talk to her, man. I'm going to see what I can get some out of her.
Now listen, tell her daddy got a cash app and I do too. Like KK will pay to play, honey. I will pay to play. Her daddy won't. Like I've been asking this Negro to make me some apples since I saw him on his Instagram page and still ain't got them.
Hey man, I can't cook nothing for you now. You know, SO ain't gonna like that. Yeah, SO ain't gonna like, cause I wouldn't like that. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like nigga come in the house with a plate full of food.
Since we all think about SO's business, do you know how odd it is that the fact that my SO used to be a chef and does not cook? So listen,
I get that, right?
In his feelings about somebody else cooking for me, then he should have had his ass in the kitchen.
See, you talk that. See, once again, you talking that real live tough guy shit. He's not even in the house right now. You talk like nah.
Listen, you've heard me say it to him.
Yeah, okay, cool. But I also heard, you know, him call you on the phone and tell you to get your ass upstairs and get dinner on before you get home. And then you ran upstairs and went out with your tail between your legs, cooking dinner. So, listeners, don't be, you know, fooled by this doggone. She ain't nothing tough about. There's nothing tough about this yellow child. Nothing. Her feet ain't even tough. She get pedicures, right? Her hands ain't tough. She get manicures, right? We know her hair ain't tough because she get the sides shaved off, right? Only thing tough on her is the eyebrows. That's it. And I'm pretty sure before the week is out, she gonna see her folks. Man, save that tough talk for the people that believe the doggone shenanigans. Me, I'm not buying it, not even at a low price.
Okay. Well, happy Valentine's Day, listeners. Listen, I appreciate you. I love y'all. Love somebody else. You were taking me and DK's voice places our feet have yet to travel week after week, Wednesday after Wednesday. You guys make sure to like, comment, and share no matter what platform you listen to us on. Please make sure that you guys are leaving reviews and not just ratings on Apple. We need all the reviews we can get. You can follow us and on any social media platform via our show notes. Also, if you have any questions, comments, because you guys have been really, you know, tuning in and really giving us great feedback. Our text only number is in the bio show notes of our show notes, and you can hit us up there. Whether it's me or DK, you can take turns if you want to, because I know some of you guys are like, well, I don't want to, you know, just hit up one. Listen, address it to whom you need to address it to. You can take turns. Today can be DK, tomorrow can be me. It'll be all right. We will answer as best we can. We appreciate all that you guys do to make us who we are, to make us your favorite podcasters. And we appreciate y'all. Again, happy Valentine's Day. This is your girls, that Thorny Chick, Karen KK Rose, alongside my co-host, the lovable asshole DK Walker. DK, I'm going to pass the baby on to you. I don't know how you're going to sum up the hall pass, but that's your job, not mine.
Thank you, Clarice. Thank you. Yes, you can hear the lambs crying.
You know that's the show coming out, right?
Yeah, I know. I ain't messing with it. You know, I wish I could. I wish I had time to watch TV, right? Like I fell asleep on the best game. I fell asleep, like, you know, I'm all of a sudden I'm a Tom Brady fan. I ain't even watch my man work his magic in the second half. I got you, Tom. I got you next weekend. I promise you. Interesting. So about the hall pass, but we had a lot of fun. I don't know what Karen did, but I know I had a lot of fun jumping in her business. Like, you know, promise you, like the shit that goes on in her house, you know what I mean, out the Midwest. I guess that's how Midwest folks get down, you know what I mean? Just, they're special, they're unique. But all jokes aside, like, you know, it's Valentine's Day. It will actually be before Valentine's Day before you hear this. But no matter where you at, no matter what day it is and wherever you at in your relationship and whatnot, you know, people do have these type of conversations, right? And maybe listen to this podcast has given you, you know, the courage, and or the balls to actually have this conversation with your significant other, right? But before you are encouraged to do so, do yourself one favor. Before you ask for a hall pass, ask yourself the reason why you're asking for the hall pass. What is it that you believe that you're not getting that you need a hall pass? Is it just a change of scenery? Is it new dick in your life, right? Is it another pair of lips, not the ones that she speak from, that you need around the head of your dick? Like, why do you believe that you just need to get some extra in your life? Now, if it's lust based, do yourself a favor. Don't ask. Flat out. It's not worth it, right? Like, you know, long time ago, because I'm married 3 times over. This is my last one right here. Like, I promise you, like, to be married is a full time. Like, when I say full time, there's like, and all these dudes talking about they go 120, like no days off. When you're married, you know what I mean? There is literally not one day off, because, you know, all that you do affects your mate, right? So if you're looking to get a hall pass because of from a lustful standpoint, don't. It's not worth it. It's not. It's just a physical act. And then once that physical act is gone, then you have to live with the fact of what you did and the fact that your, you know, significant other, the love of your life, actually gave you permission to go act out. What does that mean, right? Like I said, there's a difference between being in an open relationship and, you know, having a hall pass. Open relationship, y'all had this understood, you know, whenever y'all had the conversation. A hall pass is being acted, then you have to hold true to that hall pass. And that's where shit gets tricky and sticky at, because the person that you may turn your hall pass into may be that much a greater lover than your spouse, boyfriend or girlfriend. And what happens is, if it's good, it's like eating one chip. You're just not going to eat one chip. It's impossible. So if the dick good, you're not going to tell them to stop at one stroke. It's impossible, right? If that doggone box is worth to be boxed in, you know what I mean? Left, right, jab, hook. You want to go a couple of rounds in the sheets with her. It's impossible. So make sure it's exactly what you want, but equally or even more so, make sure that you're willing to deal with the consequences of asking for the hall pass. Me personally, I like life. My wife is violent. I'm good.
Oh gosh, poor Nikki. You ain't had to put that out about her, but she will snatch you up. Then I'll put my money on her. I'll rinse all this hair gel out and look like Don King and pay-per-view this fight.
Nah, you gonna pay-per-view her fighting and me running. Like, I'm good. I tell you, like, my wife is violent, she's ignorant, so I'm good.
You're good. Again, guys, this is the Love Is Podcast. It's your girls, the Thorny Chic, Karen KK Rose, alongside my co-host, the lovable asshole, DK Walker. DK, tell the people bye.
Peace.
This episode of the Love Is Podcast has ended, but please be sure to subscribe for more great content on sex, entrepreneurship, life, love, and how to get through the BS of it all. And don't forget to rate and leave a review so we can continue to bring more of that thorny chick, Karen KK Rose, and, dare I say, the lovable a-hole, Mr. DK Walker. See you on the next podcast.